Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm with Right Word Express Editing Services, and this is Laura Beers. She is a
Hello.
fantastic author. She has written many, many books. Some of them include the Beckett Files series, Regency Matchmaker series, and the Regency Spies and Secrets series. So, Laura, hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
So I am born and raised from San Diego, but we recently moved to South Carolina with my family. My husband got a job
All the
opportunity,
way across.
all the way across, which to me, I always wanted a new adventure. And so it was kind of a fun opportunity. And it's a lot cheaper out here in South Carolina than it is in California.
Yeah.
So I have 3 kids, and the oldest is 15 and the youngest is 10. And I actually went to BYU and I majored in construction management, and I worked for a few years, put my husband through school, and then became a stay-at-home mom until I started writing my books.
And now you're a stay-at-home writer.
Yes, yes. So it's really nice because I'm able to stay at home with my kids, but I do get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to write.
Right.
And then I write when they're at school, and then sometimes when they're at home, but I try to avoid writing when they're at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Part of that work hours versus family time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Finding
For
that
some
balance.
reason, my kid wants to hang out with me. So
That's a good thing.
yes, that
You're
is
doing
true.
the mom thing right.
Right.
So how did you get into writing? You said you majored in construction management, and
So,
yeah.
oh, sorry. So basically about 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago, I kept having this story idea in my head, which I had always had stories in my head, and I thought that's how everyone had daydreamed and went to bed and always thought about spies and being a lady. And so the story kept coming into my head, and I thought I should really write a book. But the problem was that I had no idea how to write a book. And it was definitely a hardship trying to figure that out, and I did not even tell my husband that I was thinking about writing a book, because I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't write a book. But luckily, I had a friend who actually majored in English literature at BYU, and she helped me learn how to write a book. So, and then of course, that's why we have professional editors like yourself to then finish it off. But yeah, I just kept having this story idea in my head, and then it's amazing to me that these stories keep coming and people keep reading my stories. So I'm very blessed.
That is awesome. That is awesome, because it's a symbiotic relationship, the writer-editor thing. And part of the reason I'm an editor and not a writer is because I don't have stories that come into my head. I
So
don't.
weird.
Yeah. Like I can't imagine just coming up with something and having a story that works just come out of my own brain. And
So
so
what do you think about at night? Like when you go to bed, don't you dream about being a spy?
I wish. No, I dream about all my anxieties and stresses.
That works too, yes.
Yeah. Less restful, less fun. But no, I just am not creative that way. And so, but I love stories and I want to be in on that creative process. So I'm an editor instead.
And you are a fantastic editor. So I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. So tell us about your latest project. What's coming out next? What should readers look for?
So my next book that's coming out, my 27th book, is coming out next week on the 16th, and it's a Regency Spies and Secret series, and it's called A Dangerous Pursuit. And I'm super excited. It's the first time that I'm using this new publisher, so that will be a fun experience. But it's about spies and about lords and ladies and all of the problems with the rookeries in London, and it's a really a fun twist and turn book.
Good.
So of course I'm biased, but I think there's a lot of twists and turns.
I'm biased too. I enjoyed it. So we've got two people, readers, go read this book. A Dangerous Pursuit. It's good.
And it's only, my publisher put it at 99 cents. So they're practically giving it away. So that's great.
Goodness. Well, there you go. 99 cents for a fantastic book. We'll take it.
Yeah.
But 27 books, and it's coming out next week, you said?
Next Tuesday, yes, March 16th.
Fabulous. Well, congratulations on 27 books.
Thank you.
Good. And so what's in the works after this one comes out?
So after that one, I go back to my Regency Matchmaker series. And so I'm pretty excited. It's the third installment. It starts off with three sisters that are matchmakers during the Regency time period, and how all the different relationships that they have. And it's kind of more of a fun series. And then I decided, because I enjoyed writing those characters so much, I introduced new characters in that third book, so I could write 3 more books afterwards. So the 2 characters, of course, has an older brooding brother, and so that makes up the 3. So 3 extra ones. So it's a lot of fun. So those ones will be coming out in May and later on down the rest of the year.
Fabulous, fabulous. Those will be awesome. Okay, let me see. So now we're gonna have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
I have this lovely wooden box, and it is filled with papers.
Okay.
Okay, so we are gonna let fate decide what we're gonna learn about you today.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got. First one. Do you like audiobooks, physical books, or ebooks better, and why?
So I must admit, I have not joined the whole audiobooks bandwagon yet. I know I probably should, but it's different. I enjoy ebooks when I'm around my house, but I prefer physical print books when I'm at the beach or at the lake. Yeah.
Why?
And
Why specifically the beach and the lake with the physical book?
I don't know, because when you're at the beach or the lake, when you're on your phone, it's because of the lighting and you're scrolling and you're putting it through. But when you have a physical book, even though it could get wet, I don't know, it's just, there's something about having that physical book. But when I'm at home, when I'm dealing with my kids, because I'm a very fast reader and I kind of scroll through, I do enjoy that at home. So, or at church, or in my car, or wherever else I can go. But physical book only for some reason at the beach and the lake when I water ski with my family.
Nice. So you water ski. I can't. I don't think I have the balance for that.
So when I was younger, I used to be very good at slalom skiing. Like I was very good. I was also really in shape, and because it's a hard workout.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I hurt my back on it. And now I can still decent. I'm out there and I look like I know what I'm doing, but I am not hardcore anymore. I don't take risk.
I get that. Risks kind of seem like, okay, you young kids, you do that, but once you're married and have kids and stuff, it's like, nah, I'm done.
That's exactly it. Yes.
And it sounds really boring saying that, because then anyone who is, like, oh, well, I don't want to get to that point and be boring, or or I want to be that age in that situation and not, but it's not as boring as it sounds, people. It's great.
And you have different fun. It's as you get older, it's different fun that you have. You also get to watch your kids have the fun, and you kind of excite more in their joys and accomplishments.
Yeah. So it's still fun. It's just different.
Yes. Different. Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the next question. It doesn't want to separate from the rest. Okay. Where do you see yourself as a writer in 5 years?
I hope by the time 5 years hit, I will have hit 50 books. As of right now, I'm moving up. It's looking really good. So I hope to have 50 books. I obviously hope I make decent money off of it now, but hopefully it will keep going up.
Yeah.
So I can use it to buy more fun stuff for myself. So, but yeah, I think I still will be writing, because to be honest, even if I was losing money every year, I'd still be writing. So I'm very blessed that people are reading my books, because it's a fun hobby that has become a career.
That's awesome. That is totally awesome. And the goal for so many people is to have that hobby and that fun thing become a career is just so gratifying to be like, I can enjoy myself and survive doing that.
Yes. It's kind of a good feeling, like I said, because I worked in construction, and I could go back and work, but it's a male dominated field. So there's a reason why there's long hours. And so I'm very blessed that I have a career that I can be at home with my kids.
Mhm. That flexibility is amazing.
Yes, it is. And I can sit at my desk and drink as much Diet Dr. Pepper as I want. So that's a win for me.
True, very true. All right, let's do another one.
Okay.
See what we got. Did you ever consider writing under a pseudonym?
Okay, so I am a very weird person, and I actually love, even though my last name is Beers and it's a very funny name. I have, my first name is Laura, and so there's 5 letters in Laura and there's 5 letters in Beers, and so it's perfectly lined up. So I never considered using a pseudonym for that. So, which is really weird. Like I said, I don't have a middle name. It's just Laura Beers. So yeah, I thought it was a good name. And I also, all my books are clean.
Mhm.
And so there's nothing that I would find embarrassing that if people did pick up that I would be embarrassed about.
Right. You don't have to be like, whoa, she had that in her head, you know.
If anything, the Beckett files, they kissed more at the beginning, because I liked the more kissy. And now I've kind of gone back to more the Jane Austen one kiss at the end, or in Jane Austen's case, sometimes no kiss. So, so I've kind of scaled it back. But sometimes I throw in a kiss in the middle of the book. You just never know. You got to keep it exciting.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's scandalous in such situations. So
very scandalous. It's back then, kissing is pretty much an engagement, but yeah, very different rules.
Okay, let's see what we got next. Ooh, this one's a good one. What was the hardest scene to write?
So anytime, anytime I kill off someone, it's a hard scene to write. And I have learned that people want to kill off the bad people. The readers want you to kill off bad people. But when you kill off someone that is loved in the series, I got a lot of emails from people. In the Beckett files, someone who was kind of a secondary character died, and I've learned my lesson that people don't like characters that they get attached to die. They just want the bad guys to die. They're okay with that. But so anytime I write a scene where there's some type of death, you have to have sympathy in there, but you also need to make it realistic, and so that's one of the hardships.
Yeah, I think I remember that character in that death, and I remember reading it and being like, oh, dang it.
Yes, I have learned since then, you have to be very careful on who you kill off. So, which is good. I mean, you get attached to these people, and you never know what people relate to the secondary characters too. Sometimes they see themselves in these secondary characters, and they're just as attached to them as they are the main characters.
Yeah. Well, and I remember reading it and finishing that one and being like, okay, he didn't die needlessly. It was sad.
Yeah.
But it's not like as an author, you're just killing people willy-nilly just to throw your readers for a loop either. No.
Yeah, so. I had, there was one book, it's the same one I think we're talking about, where there was a lot of death. And because it's a war book, it's about spies and people are dying and they're going to war. But I've discovered that a lot of people like more, everyone's different. Some people like more crime, and some people like more mystery, and then other people just want to read something to be escape for a few hours. So I would like to think I have a mixture of both. So, and I try to keep lighthearted in the bantering and back and forth to kind of take away from some of that too.
Yeah. It's a hard balance. It is a very hard balance to keep it interesting and have that conflict, but still not destroy your characters with the conflict. And yeah, very tough. And that's part of why I'm like, part of me is glad I'm not a writer, because that is hard.
The stories become your babies, like your children. And so when people sometimes not attack, but they don't like it, you almost go, oh, it's like attacking your baby. And then you can have 100 people say that they love your book, and then one person doesn't like it, and you think, oh, I failed as a writer. So there is a lot of self-doubt too with coming as a writer.
Yeah. And it's so hard to be like that one versus the 100, and it just hits you so much harder sometimes.
Yes. And especially if I don't read the reviews, I very rarely go back and read the reviews, but every now and then I do. And sometimes I learn something like, oh, I did something wrong, or they made a good point. But every now and then when I read a review and someone doesn't seem to get it, they write something in there and you're like, oh, I just wish I could talk to you for like 30 seconds and explain why I did this. And then you'll understand, but of course you can't do that. So that'd be very weird and creepy to do that. So.
And you wouldn't have any time to write.
Yeah.
You'd spend all day responding to the comments and being like, well, this is why. And, you could write books worth of explaining why you wrote a book this way. And it's like,
exactly.
No.
And I've also learned too that some people are okay with, I've learned over the years, some people are okay with certain language. So I mostly use Regency language. So I use like blasted and blazes and botheration and those, and I stay away from R swear words because those offend some people as well.
Exactly. So it would have been offensive then. It's not offensive now. So we're good.
Yes. Yes.
Whether it's actually a swear word here or there or whatever, we're just going to cater to the current audience.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay. What was the hardest part of writing your author bio?
Trying to write something about yourself in such a short paragraph. For a couple, I have them 2 small paragraphs, to write your personality and to write everything. I think I nailed it. Like, I think I did pretty good, but it's definitely hard to try to boil yourself down to just these few lines about yourself that you can try to entice the reader in by thinking she looks like someone I could trust and read and enjoy. But without giving too much personal information where people go, oh, I don't need to know that. So it does the basic stuff. So yeah, it's kind of fun. But yeah, it's definitely hard to write something, or when someone asks for a shortened blurb for your book, and you're like, a blurb is already short enough, and then you try to shorten it down. Those are kind of hard for me, trying to bring them down.
Exactly. Like the describe your book in 1 or 2 sentences. And you're like, I can't do that. That's why I wrote a book.
Very true. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Laura, for joining us. This has been awesome. Is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers or your readers?
I would just like to say once again, thank you for reading my books and letting my dream come true of being an author. So I never thought I would be able to actually have a career out of being an author. So I'm very blessed.
Thank you. Thank you. So remember, Laura's latest book is coming out next week on the 16th. Actually, that'll probably be about the time this video comes out. So, and you can find her information on our website, and go to her website and go to where you can buy her books and see all the wonderful things she's written. 27 books. It's amazing. So thank you for joining us today, and we hope you enjoy what you saw. Go check us out at rightwordexpress.com and check out Laura. You can have the links to her websites on our website and in the description to this video. Thank you.
Thank you.